These are 4 constructions that we are going to use in this centers of triangle unit. So the first one is an angle bisector. An angle bisector is a line or segment that cuts an angle into 2 congruent parts. So we have our angle right here. So an angle bisector, and we're just going to draw a line, but it would be the line that cuts this into 2 congruent parts. The next one is a perpendicular bisector. A perpendicular bisector is the line or segment that cuts a segment into 2 congruent parts. So given our segment, it would be the line or segment, and I'm going to draw a line that cuts that segment into 2 congruent parts. Okay, when we get to the median, we first need to review midpoint, because a median is a segment that has an endpoint at the vertex of the triangle and the midpoint of the opposite side. So if we're going to talk about this as our vertex, then we need to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need to find the median, the midpoint of the opposite side. And then the median is the segment that you draw between those 2 points. Now, altitude is something that you already know about. Altitude is just the height of a triangle, and we've been talking about the height of a triangle since you were in elementary school. So the altitude is just the perpendicular segment from the vertex to the line containing the opposite side. So if we're going to call this our vertex, then we need the perpendicular line to the other side. And if you look at that, it definitely looks like the height of a triangle. So in our right triangle, if this is the vertex, then this leg actually becomes the altitude. And here's something crazy. This is an obtuse triangle. And so if this is the vertex that we're choosing, our altitude actually happens to be outside the triangle. And you remember this from elementary too. If you had a triangle that looked like this, they would draw the altitude outside.